Let me see your hands, right now!
Whoa, I'm just delivering, man. Scanner in my right hand, that's all.
Drop it! Step away from the porch!
It's a scanner. I'm with Amazon. See the vest? I live right over there.
You casing these houses?
Thought you could hit the whole street tonight, huh?
No, sir. Packages. 3 more in the truck. You can check.
They pointed guns at a black delivery driver while he was standing in his own driveway. They shouted at him like he was a thief. They made him kneel on the ground, hands in the air, in front of the whole neighborhood. But what they didn't know, this quiet Amazon worker, he had once saved their country again and again. And the moment his true identity came out, everything changed. Before we dive deeper into this story, do me one favor. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss stories like this. And drop a comment telling me where you're watching from. Now back to the story. Stop moving. Hands where I can see them. Andre, ai, barker froze. Blue and red lights flashed against his vest. 2 deputies stormed toward him with guns drawn. He was holding nothing but a small Amazon package and a barcode scanner. I'm just delivering, he said softly. His voice shook a little. Not from guilt, from fear. Deputy Stephen Rowlings, tall, wide shoulders, harsh stare, stepped closer. Yeah? And I'm the Easter Bunny, he said. Drop the box. On the ground. Now. The driveway was bright from squad car headlights. Neighbors peeked through blinds. A few stepped outside to film. AJ slowly lowered the package, careful not to make a wrong move. This is my route, he said. House number 37. Check the... Quiet. Rowlings barked. To me, you look like a prowler. A thief trying to break into houses. AJ breathed in. He had delivered to this neighborhood for 3 months straight. He had waved at kids on bicycles. He had helped an old lady carry groceries to her door. But tonight, he was only one thing in their eyes. A black man in a nice area at night. Ike Barker, 27 years old. New homeowner in Fort Worth, Texas. He had a deep, calm voice. A humble smile. A vest with Amazon shining across the chest. Most people only saw the vest. Only saw the job. They didn't see the scars hidden beneath the sleeves. They didn't see the medals locked quietly in a small box under his bed. AJ didn't like to talk about his past. Not the pain. Not the missions. Not the nights he couldn't sleep. He had served 8 years in the military. Air Force Special Operations Command. A hero, but a quiet one. Now, he just wanted peace. A home. A yard. A life without fear. But tonight, peace wasn't here. Rowlings pressed closer. His hand gripped his gun tighter. Sir, I live on this street, AJ said, forcing confidence into his voice. Oh, really? Rowlings smirked. Funny, because a resident here just called saying you were lurking around mailboxes. I moginket. Something inside him ached. He turned slightly toward the doorbell camera on the porch. I'm delivering a package. Please, I'm just doing my job. Rowlings pushed him backward. You talk too much. His partner, Deputy Lewis Shaw, stood a few feet behind, uncertainty in his eyes. Shaw was younger, slim, nervous. You could tell he wasn't sure this was right. But he didn't speak. Neighbors silently recorded. Their fingers shook, their hearts too scared to defend him. Rowlings pointed at AJ's scanner. What's that? A tool to break into houses? Huh, it's a scanner, AJ whispered. You can look. Drop it and step back. I obey it. His heartbeat pounded so loud he thought everyone could hear it. Rowlings shouted again. Hands up. AJ lifted them slowly. His vest shimmered under the lights. His breath turned white in the cool air. This is not necessary, he tried again. Are you resisting? Rowlings yelled. No, sir, AJ answered. But the humiliation? That was loud. Louder than the sirens. Louder than the fear. Phones recorded. Voices whispered. Kids cried behind screen doors. There's a special kind of pain when you are treated like you are dangerous. For simply existing. AJ felt that pain now. His legs shook. Not from weakness. From anger he swallowed down. He thought of his mother's voice. Stand strong. You are more than they see. Rowlings circled him, like a wolf with a wounded deer. You don't belong here, the deputy said. The words hit deeper than a punch. I is jou tightened. He stayed silent. Strong. Still. A flashlight shined into his face. Down his vest. To his ID badge. What's this? Rowlings laughed. You really think this cheap plastic toy proves you're a driver? AJ didn't blink. I can show you my route, he said calmly. Scan the package. Shut up, Rowling snapped. You're going to jail tonight. Shaw shifted. He finally found some courage. Steve, maybe we should just check the... You questioning me? Rowling snapped. Shaw's mouth closed again. Silence returned. A heavy silence full of wrong. I looked inward. A memory flashed. Him, in uniform, carrying a wounded soldier across a battlefield. Bullets flying past. Smoke and sand everywhere. He took a breath. He had faced worse than this. But this hurt differently, because he wasn't fighting an enemy overseas. He was fighting someone who was supposed to protect him. Rowlings clicked the safety off his gun. You move again, I'll drop you. AJ closed his eyes for 1 second. He whispered, please don't shoot me. His voice broke, and Rowling smiled. He was enjoying this. A quiet sound broke the moment. Footsteps. Another officer approaching from the side. Deputy Maria Jameson, Latina, steady eyes, controlled tone. What's going on? She asked. Rowlings pointed angrily. Caught this guy stealing packages. Jameson looked at the package on the ground. At AJ's vest. At the scanner. Then at his face. What's your name, sir? She asked gently. Andre Parker, he replied. She picked up the scanner. Beep. The little screen lit up. Delivery, 37, Oak Ridge Drive, status, pending. Driver, A. Parker, verified route. Jameson frowned, confused. She looked at Rowlings. Then back to AJ. Sir, do you live here? I know it. She looked again at the porch camera, at the number on the house, at the package label. Everything matched. Her face tightened. Steve, we need to talk. Rowlings scoffed. Oh, come on. He's lying. Probably stole that scanner too. Jameson stepped between them. This is his home. He lives here. He's doing his job. AJ looked at her, a tiny spark of hope in his chest. Rowling's face turned red. He had made a mistake, and he knew it. But instead of lowering his weapon, he pressed it harder into AJ's chest. No, I decide who belongs here. Jameson shouted. Put the gun down, Steve. AJ's heart stopped. The world froze. The camera on the porch was still recording, and something inside AJ finally started to rise. Not fear, not anger, power. The part of him he kept buried. The warrior. Rowling's gun pressed into AJ's chest. His breath trembled against cold metal. Deputy Jameson stood frozen, hand near her holster. Steve, she warned again, this is going too far. The air was sharp, silent, waiting. Rowling's voice cut through the darkness. You think wearing that vest makes you someone? I don't care if you say you live here. I don't care if you pretend to work here. Men like you. He leaned closer, eyes burning with ugly anger. Are always up to something at night. AJ felt every word like a knife. Something inside him cracked. Not anger, not fear, dignity. He raised his eyes slowly, staring into Rowling's face. Deputy, AJ said quietly, I serve this country. Longer than you have. Harder than you ever will. Rowling scoffed and jammed the gun harder. Oh yeah? And what were you? A mailman in the army too? AJ didn't flinch. He spoke each word with calm power. Air Force Special Operations Command. 8 years. Shaw stepped back. Jameson's eyes widened. Rowlings laughed too loud, a man in denial. Liar. You expect me to believe that. AJ didn't say another word. Instead, he lifted his chin slightly, just enough for the collar of his vest to shift. A small silver chain peeked out. A metal tag, a military dog tag. Jameson stepped forward and pulled the chain free. Her eyes widened again, but this time filled with respect. Steve, she whispered, he's telling the truth. She held the tag up to the light. Andre Parker, Special Tactics Operator, blood type O+. A wave of silence hit every person watching. Phones kept recording. The truth was being captured forever. Rowling's hand shook, but he still refused to lower the gun. You think a shiny tag changes anything? He hissed. Jameson lost her patience. Steve dropped the gun. Her voice was ice. Kids watching from windows saw a showdown between officers. and they would remember this moment forever. Rowlings finally cracked, lowering his weapon inches, then a foot, then to his side. Shaw took a step toward AJ, guilt in his eyes. I'm sorry, he whispered. AJ didn't answer. He kept staring at Rowlings. His calm, scarier than anger. His silence, louder than shouting. Rowlings grumbled, trying to salvage power. He still needs to be checked. For safety. Jameson stepped in front of AJ, shielding him. No, we're done here. The neighbors continued filming, their faces full of shame now. No one saw AJ as a thief anymore. They saw a hero. They saw a protector. They saw the man who had been humiliated on his own driveway. And yet, AJ didn't yell. He didn't curse. He didn't push back. He just slowly knelt and picked up the package he never got to deliver. His hand still shook, but his voice stayed steady. I just want to do my job and go home. The words hit harder than any punch. Rowlings stepped back like he'd been struck. Jameson radioed for the captain. Supervisor needed at Oak Ridge Drive. Immediately. Officer misconduct. Rowlings' eyes widened. He was no longer the hunter. He was the hunted. Minutes later, a white SUV rolled up. Captain Elijah Monroe stepped out. Tall, black, strong jaw, eyes that had seen too much injustice already. He walked straight to AJ. You all right, son? A soft voice, but powerful. AJ nodded once. Then Monroe turned to Rowlings. What happened? Rowlings tried to talk fast. I followed protocol. This suspect. Driver, Monroe corrected sharply. And homeowner. Rowlings swallowed. Monroe stepped inches from him. You pointed a gun at a delivery driver doing his job. In his own driveway, while wearing a vest and carrying a scanner. His voice got lower, deadlier. And you did it because of how he looks. Rowlings opened his mouth, but Monroe shut him down. Badge. Gun. Now. Rowlings froze. Pale. Sir. Now. Shaw watched in pure shock as Rowlings slowly unhooked his badge and placed his gun in Monroe's hand. The world felt suddenly balanced. Neighbors captured everything. Karma. On camera. Rowlings stared at AJ. His pride was broken. His voice shaky. I made a mistake, he muttered. Barely a whisper. AJ nodded once. We all make mistakes, he said. But the badge should make you better than this. Everyone heard the message. It wasn't anger. It was teaching. Monroe guided AJ aside, giving him space. You want to press charges? He asked softly. AJ looked around. At the lights. The cameras. The scared children. The guilty faces. No, he said. I just want to go home. Monroe placed a hand on AJ's shoulder. You're a good man. AJ finally let out a long, shaky breath. He wasn't shaking from fear anymore. Just relief. The captain turned to Rowlings. You're done for tonight, and there will be a full investigation. Rowlings stared at the ground, humiliated. Shaw walked up to AJ. Sir, thank you for your service. AJ met his eyes, and for the first time tonight, someone looked at him with honor. Just treat people better, AJ replied quietly. Jameson helped AJ finish scanning the package. Last delivery of the night? She asked softly. Yeah, AJ said. Just trying to build a life. Slow and steady. She smiled. You already built something stronger than most people ever will. I know it. He walked to his front door. The neighborhood watched him. Not as a threat. Not as a suspect. As a hero they almost destroyed. He turned once more toward Rowlings. Not with pride. Not with anger. With truth. Don't decide someone is bad just because they don't look like you. A simple line. A deep wound. A new direction. Rowlings had no answer. AJ stepped inside his house. Closed the door gently. And for the first time that night, he felt safe. Some battles are won without ever throwing a punch. Sometimes just standing is enough. If this story touched you in any way, hit that subscribe button right now and tell us in the comments. Do you think the officer deserves to lose his job forever? Or should he be trained and given a chance to change? Drop your opinion below. Let's talk about it.